you doing? You are welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwa Tosin, and today we're going to talk about how God led me into teaching. Stay comfortable. Please feel relaxed because we're about to have a long conversation. Okay, but this video is going to be in like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. So for part 1, stay comfortable. First thing first is something inspired me to shoot this video, I think about 3 months ago. So I was watching a video of Pastor Pojoyemade, and he was asking the people that were in his congregation, the singles he was talking to, and he asked them a series of, I think, 15 questions. And one of the questions he asked them was, what is that one thing you would do if you had 24 hours to live? And I wrote down one of the things I would do was I will make videos, all the videos I've been wanting to make, I will make them and I'll post them. I wrote that down, and recently I went back to look at it and I said, you know what? Before the end of this year, I am actually going to make those videos. So that's why I'm doing this. Welcome. Let's talk about how God led me into teaching, part 1. Fast forward to 2019, I'd come back from Nigeria. I took a trip to Nigeria end of 2018. I'd come back from Nigeria and I wanted to move out of where I was. I wanted to move into London because I didn't really want to be there anymore. So somehow I felt led to stay back in that place where I was. I had already paid for an accommodation in London, I'd paid my deposit, and I was so happy to leave Colchester, which is where I was. But I felt God say to me, stay in this place, stay in Colchester. So I stayed. And then April of that year, the church I was attending, the parents who had teenagers started to say to the pastor of the church, we need a teens church. We actually do need a place for our children to go when we all come into church, because some of our children are saying they don't want to come to church on Sunday because there's nowhere for them to go. When they come to the big church, they don't really understand. And the pastor of the church and the leadership of this church started to look into the issue of we actually need to start a teens class, a class for teenagers. So the conversation was ongoing, and within a month, the teenagers church was set up. And to the glory of God, I was one of the teachers that was appointed to be in teens church. And I think teens church really, really led me to teaching. One Sunday after church, I think maybe like 2 months into starting teens church, me going there on Sundays to teach, I had a conversation with the senior pastor, and he said to me, these children that you see on Sundays, do you know what they do Monday to Friday? I was like, do I know what they do Monday to Friday? I was like, no, I know they go to school, but he was like, you need to find out what they do Monday to Friday. You only see them on Sunday, you see them for 2 hours and they are gone. What do they do Monday to Friday? And I was like, you know what? I've actually never been into a UK secondary school because I did my secondary school in Nigeria. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to write to one of these secondary schools around where I live and tell them I would like to come in for work shadowing. I just want to see what it feels like to be in a UK secondary school, specifically to be a teacher. Guess what? I actually wrote my email, and I think that same day I got an email saying, oh yes, you can come in. And I think one question they asked me was, do you have DBS? And I said, oh yes, I have DBS. They were like, perfect, you can come in on this particular day, and then you can come and shadow this particular teacher. Just come in with your DBS. I was like, wow, exciting. I am going into a UK secondary school. I was so excited. I went into the school that day. I stayed in the class with the teacher, period 1. Every class she went to, I went with her. During break, she went downstairs. She was on duty. She took me. During lunch, I can't really remember what happened. Okay, during lunch, something happened actually. The teacher said that we need to go to another school for her to deliver a joint lesson, because that time she was teaching religious studies. So she took me from the school I was to another school for her to have a joint lesson. So those schools are together in the same trust. So when I got to the other school, I was like, wow, I'm in another school. I met some more children. I supported her in her lesson. Like, I will go around and say hi to the children. When they are completing the work, I'll ask them, oh, do you need any help? Do you need any support? And then they'll tell me yes or no. And when I got home that day, I said, oh my God, I'm excited. I want to be a teacher. I spent a day with a teacher in the UK secondary school. and I loved it. I really, really want to be a teacher. And that was it. So this was like September, October time. So I came back. I did feedback to my senior pastor to say, I actually went on this trip. I went to see what happens in the UK secondary school. I spent one day there and I was so inspired with everything I saw. So on a Sunday, when I sit down to talk to the teenagers, I could talk to them understanding what they do on Monday to Friday. I saw how the classrooms were. I saw how children behave during break, how they behave during lunch. I saw a lot of things then, and I was like, I think this is what I want to do. I want to become a teacher. So that is my story on how God led me into teaching.